On January the 13th, 2021, President Donald Trump was impeached for a second time in Congress. The margin was 232 to 197, voting for the article of impeachment. Amongst those 232 representatives who voted for Donald Trump to become impeached, there were 10 Republicans who voted to impeach Donald Trump on Wednesday. These Republicans who voted to impeach Donald Trump were the following: Liz Cheney, the daughter of Dick Cheney, and the third highest Republican on Capitol Hill. She released a statement saying that the President of the United States summoned this mob, assembled the mob, and lit the flame of this attack. Everything that followed was his doing. None of this would have happened without the President. The President could have immediately and forcefully intervened to stop the violence. He did not. There has never been a greater betrayal by a President of the United States of his office and his oath to the Constitution. Veteran Adam Kinzinger, who represents Illinois' 6th Congressional District, is the only Republican in his state to support the impeachment of Donald Trump. Fourth-term Congressman John Cato was the first House Republican to announce that he's backing the impeachment of Donald Trump. He said allowing the president to incite this attack without consequence is a direct threat to the future of our democracy. Fred Upton of Michigan is the only congressman to vote to impeach both Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. And Southwest Washington Congressman Jaime Herrera Beutler was the 5th Republican to announce that they were voting to impeach President Donald Trump, along with Tim Rice and David Valadao. Former professional footballer and Ohio Congressman Anthony Gonzalez said President Trump helped to organize and incite a mob. Washington Congressman Dan Newhouse said he voted for impeachment because he cannot ignore this brutal assault on the Capitol. And finally, Peter Meijer was the only freshman member of Congress to vote in favor of the impeachment of Donald Trump. And he said this: "We saw profiles and courage during the assault on the Capitol. Police officers, badly outnumbered, putting their lives on the line to save others. Members of Congress barricading doors and caring for colleagues. A vice president who fearlessly remained in the Capitol and refused to bow to the mob. There was no such courage from a president who betrayed and misled millions with the claims of a stolen election, and encouraged loyalists that if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. The one man that could have restored order, prevented the deaths of 6 Americans, including a police officer, and avoided the desecration of our capital, shrank from leadership when our country needed it most. As the gallows were erected on Capitol grounds and members of the mob chanted, 'Hang Mike Pence,' the president assailed the vice president regarding the certification vote, saying he didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and Constitution. The president also released a video expressing his admiration for those who stormed the Capitol while Congress was still under attack. It raised on me that General Ford held his seat for 25 years before he was elevated to the presidency. And President Ford's pardon of Richard Nixon was a necessary step to move the nation past the wounds of Watergate, but it followed Nixon's resignation and acceptance of responsibility. Since last week, the president has accepted no responsibility for the violence his rhetoric and actions inspired. This vote is not a victory. It isn't a victory for my party. It isn't a victory for the Democrats, who may think it is. I'm not sure if it's a victory for our country, but it is a call to action for us to reflect on these events and seek ways to correct them. I have wrestled with this division this vote will cause. I've wrestled with the precedent it will establish, and I have concerns with due process. I've wrestled with whether impeachment, an inherently political process, is a meaningful mechanism of accountability for the seriousness of the president's actions. But today, my job is to apply my best judgment to the article of impeachment that is on the floor of the U.S. Congress. With the facts at hand, I believe the article of impeachment to be accurate. The president betrayed his oath of office by seeking to undermine our constitutional process, and he bears no responsibility for inciting the violent acts of insurrection last week. With a heavy heart, I vote to impeach the president, Donald J. Trump." Peter Meijer represents Michigan's 3rd Congressional District, which was previously held by prominent Trump critic Justin Amash. Many of these members of Congress admitted that voting to impeach President Trump might cost them their seats in the next election. Many of them, threats on their lives have escalated. and they live in a heightened degree of danger. It took courage to break from partisan ranks and to do the right thing by conscience. And each one of these members, each one of them, I can trust to do things based on conscience, to do things based on truth, to do things based off the facts. That is why I can see almost any one of them running for a high office in the United States of America. These actions prove that they have the character, the core material, the qualities to not just be someone who is power hungry and hoping to get more domination and power, unlike Donald Trump, but they have the mettle of character to truly serve in an office, ensuring that equity and fairness is administered not just to their constituents, but to the United States of America. 80% of Republicans say they oppose the actions of the pro-Trump rioters that broke into the Capitol last week. Yet, there is a lack of connectivity between the acknowledgement of the wrong act and accountability, not just to the pro-Trump rioters, but to Trump himself. What this shows is that there are people, regardless of whatever side of party lines they are on, who have the mettle of constitution, who have the firmness of character to stand and speak based on principle and not based on some partisan rhetoric, to trump up claims and to search for things based on a preconceived alliance to a given party. That to me is the most important thing about these people, and they must be protected. And these people have proven that they are the people who we need to see in the future in all politics. I want to applaud them for the steps and measures they've taken based on principle and not based on partisan lines.